My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. I'm going to give you my favorite Underdog Fantasy plays for UFC Austin. If you don't know what Underdog Fantasy is, it's daily fantasy. You come in here, you say higher or lower than the numbers you see on the screen, and if you're correct, you can 20 times your money. It is the highest payout in this space. And they'll even give you free money to give it a try. All you need to do to get that free money is go to wewantpicks.com/underdog, use promo code WWP, and they will instantly match your deposit. If you give them $20, they'll give you a free $20. If you give them $100, they will give you $100 instantly that you can immediately enter into a contest. And if you win, all of that money is yours to withdraw. And if you lose, well, you lost their free money, kept your real money. Nobody cares. WeWantPicks.com/underdog, promo code WWP. Get that free money. Let's go ahead and look at UFC Austin. This is obviously every single sport. You can see on the left here, my mouse hovering. Tennis. When it's tennis season, let's get that money. But every sport, college football, regular football, soccer, like FIFA, that's the video game. Other video games, I'll never know how esports fantasy works. But anyway, it's every single sport. We are going to focus on UFC. And I've got a nice 5-fight entry that we can go through here. Let's just start and look at Arman Tsarukyan. I want you to focus on this 3 takedowns. I do think he gets to 3, potentially 4. Gamrot had that number in his fight with Dariush, and we get an extra 2 rounds out of this one. But I've got a better way to get Arman here, so we'll leave that alone. Jalen Turner, short notice, 10.5 fight minutes. The higher is probably the way to go, but we're going to leave that alone. Rob Font, that's another very interesting one. The significant strike line, he's either going to cruise past that, just lighting up Figgy, or he's going to get taken down and controlled like he was in his last fight. Sean Brady, we're going to leave this one alone. I do have a Kelvin play that we'll show in a second here. Let me just keep working. Damn, man, I got to scroll pretty far down here. Here we go. Drakkar Klose, higher than 40.5 significant strikes. I think him and Joe Solecki most likely go to the distance. I think this fight looks exactly like Drakkar Klose's last fight, where he also fought a grappler with decent striking. He was taken down a handful of times, but he cruised well past this 40.5 significant strikes. So I think that's a pretty safe entry. Higher than 8.5 fight minutes for Melk Costa. It's Mezquil, but Melk is the nickname. The reason being, he's very tough. He's not the most dangerous guy in the world, even though he is dangerous. Steve Garcia, his opponent, is very tough. Both of these men have been to decisions before. I think this fight most likely goes to a decision or very close to it. 8.5 fight minutes is just a little bit more than a round and a half, and I think that we will be totally fine there. And then Wellington Turman, the 1.5 takedown line. I'm going to go higher there as well. I think Wellington is going to lean a little bit on the wrestling. He's coming off a couple of interesting fights, a couple of close-ish type fights where he's had some progress and then took a couple steps back. But I do think he's going to work in the wrestling here. Jared Gooden's been taken down a few times, and I think that Wellington Turman's going to at least get 2 takedowns here, and that's all we need. Then we're going to cruise over to Rivals. What Rivals does is it has the people fighting each other, and then you just have to say between these two, who's going to get more. So the very first fight we have on here is Ihor Potierio, Rodolfo Bellato. And they're saying, who's going to land more significant strikes? The expectation is Ihor, so they're giving him 12.5 to start, right? They're handicapping him a little bit. I have 2 of these that I love. Kelvin Gastelum, they're giving him a half a strike. I dug through both of these men's striking stats in all of their UFC fights, and neither one of them really get outstruck very often. I think Kelvin Gastelum is going to land the same amount or more total significant strikes in this fight. If we go back to his last fight, he did the same. Every single fight, essentially, outside of Robert Whittaker and Israel Adesanya, Kelvin Gastelum has landed much more significant strikes than his opponent, and I think this will be more of the same. They're giving him a half a strike, basically an even line, but I think Kelvin will land more total strikes in this matchup. Therefore, I'll take the half, and I'll throw him in this. Sean Brady just lost to Bilal Muhammad and landed fewer total significant strikes. This fight could look very, very similar to that. And then the last one that I have here, where is it? Where's that Arman Tsarukyan takedown line? Here it is. So they're giving Dariush 1.5 takedowns. If you remember, Arman Tsarukyan's takedown line was 3. So he would have needed 4 takedowns for us to cash. In this example, he just needs to get 2 more takedowns than Beneil does. I don't see Beneil shooting any takedowns in this fight. I think it's going to look like the Gamrot fight, where he's going to be defending takedowns, creating scrambles. So I think Arman will at least get 2 takedowns. Beneil will get 0 takedowns, and I think that will be good here. This is much better. We're getting, basically, we need 2 fewer takedowns doing it this way than if we just did Arman's 3 takedown line, because Arman's 3 takedown line means he needs 4 for us to hit. So this is the entry that I built. I went ahead and I insured it. I insure all my entries. So if you throw 20 bucks at it, all of these hit, you're going to win $200. If somebody blows it, you will still make some good money, more than double your money. If you're living fast and loose by the seat of your pants, a $20 entry could win you $400 on this. We'll go ahead. We will take a look and we will recap. I have my 5-pick entry. We went Drakkar Close, higher than 40.5 significant strikes. Melk Costa, higher than 8.5 fight minutes. Wellington Turman, higher than 1.5 takedowns. And then we did Arman Tsarukyan minus 1.5 takedowns and Kelvin Gastelum plus a half a takedown. Guys, that is my entry. Build your own entry. We have been doing pretty well with Underdog Fantasy here. Most important thing, get your free money. Go to WeWantPicks.com/underdog, promo code WWP, and get that instant deposit match. It's basically no risk. Just use the free money to build yourself an entry. WeWantPicks.com/underdog, promo code WWP.